City and national guidance, and I want to recognize the presence of our minister who is here right now, Honorable Chris Bariomonsi, who will also be coming up to speak. But I think it's important to note that as the National IT Authority, our job is to promote efficiency in the government also, which government also impacts our citizens, how you access services, how the parish model will work, how elections are conducted, how the census will be conducted, how businesses are run within government, how payments are made to citizens. So the National IT Authority supports the government in those endeavors, and we make sure that we provide efficient government systems that are also cost-effective to run the government in a cost-effective manner. So today we'll be talking about one of the key pillars, which is around the internet, and I want to just introduce the CEO and the ED of NITA, who is Dr. Hatwib Mugasa, who will also share a bit more about what I've just shared right now, but also take the opportunity to introduce the Honorable Minister, who will be making the official remarks. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope to spend the next couple of minutes or hour with you. Thank you. Let me take this opportunity right now to just welcome Dr. Hatwib Mugasa, the Executive Director or CEO of NITA Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. My name's Dr. Mugasa Hatwib, the Executive Director of the National IT Authority of Uganda. Honorable Minister, State Minister, the Managing Directors of agencies, the press, ladies and gentlemen. As the IT arm of government, we have come a long way in optimizing IT service usage and absorption in government and in the private sector. This journey started way back in 2013, so it's now about 10 years since the journey of optimization and digitalization of Uganda came into place. And our first task was to provide internet services to government agencies, but later we also commercialized the internet service to the private sector. This provision also extended services to special interest groups like the innovation hubs, schools, and Wi-Fi hotspots, and many other beneficiary users in Uganda. By then, we had built and commercialized the government fiber optic cable, or the NBI, the National Backbone Infrastructure. We made it sustainable. We increased government revenue. We improved service experience for citizens. Some of them, you can experience them, like applying for your driving license. It's now much faster. We're also improving on the application for the national ID through the digitization of the national ID system. Through NITA-U, Government of Uganda laid a footprint for the country in terms of internet coverage. However, this internet coverage is still low. We later connected the new offices of government to provide fast, reliable, and secure internet. To date, NITA Uganda has completed the implementation of the 4 phases of the NBI, that is from phase 1 to phase 4. And we're embarking on a larger project, phase 5, and the Uganda Digital Acceleration Project, or UDAP, to fully connect the whole of Uganda 100%. We'll cover all the districts in Uganda and also take internet to the 10,500 parishes of Uganda. NITA Uganda to date has connected roughly close to 1,500 government offices. These are the ministries, districts, and agencies. And we have presence in 53 districts, major districts in Uganda. We also have presence in 10 border points of Uganda. From the financial year 2017 to 2018, to date, NITA-Uganda has maintained a steady rate of $70 for 1 megabyte per second per month for the price of internet, following a competitive market analysis against the average market rate of $85 for 1 megabyte per second per month. However, in a bid to deepen e-service usage and absorption, while lowering government expenditure, NITA-Uganda has been working with the Minister of ICT to reduce the price of internet, and this will be announced by our Honorable Minister. The general outcome of the price cut is expected to help spur digitization, e-service absorption, and growth of internet usage across the country. We anticipate that the ripple effect of the government price cut is expected to influence the average market cost and subsequently lowering end user tariffs for businesses and citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, our resolve and commitment at NITA-Uganda is to further lower the bandwidth cost, deepen digitization, accelerate e-services usage, while at the same time lowering government expenditure through shared IT services like internet and centralized data service hosting. At NITA-Uganda, we have been working hard to consistently lower the cost of internet bandwidth in Uganda, especially for government institutions, since they provide onward services to ordinary citizens and the private sector. We are happy that we have maintained our long-term plan to lower this bandwidth price. In the following weeks to come, we will invite you here once more to launch the Uganda Digital Acceleration Project. That's a UDAP project, or the GovNet project, that will propel Uganda to extend connectivity to 95% of government offices, districts, and we believe upon completion of this project, government will further lower its price of internet. So today is not the last of the price cut. We expect that to even come lower once we conclude the implementation of UDAP. We will, as I conclude, I take this opportunity to thank the Minister of ICT and National Guidance for the strategic leadership and guidance provided to NITA-Uganda in stepping up Uganda's digital transformation agenda for God and my country. Thank you. I now by here invite the Minister of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, to make the announcement on the price cut and to officially launch the new price of internet. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hatwibu Mugasa, ED NITA-U, and the senior members of NITA-Uganda. NITA is the National IT Authority of Uganda, and this is the team which has come together with me, led by Dr. Hatwibu Mugasa, who has just been holding the floor. And next to him, we have Mr. Corin, I almost called you Honorable Corin, but Corin Babirukamu, who is the Director of E-Government Services. We also have Madame Caro Mugisha, Director Legal Services, NITA-U, and Madame Regina Chimera, Director Finance, NITA-U. We have Mr. Richard Obita, Director Research, Mr. Joshua Akandwanaho, yes, in charge of BPOs, Business Process Outsourcing, BPO Supervisor, but we also have the MD Soliton, Mr. Hamdi. Soliton is a company that works with us in the management and maintenance of the National Backbone Infrastructure, NBI. So I want to welcome the team from NITA Uganda and also welcome you members of the press. Thank you very much for turning up in big numbers this afternoon. And like the two previous speakers have commented, we are speaking IT. I just want to check whether you are IT savvy. Should I speak IT language or I simplify the language? Yeah. But this afternoon we have a team of IT experts. I am just going to read a short statement, after which you will raise questions or make any comments, and my team will be at liberty to respond to any issues you may want to raise, particularly those which are technical. So if you have always had an issue that is technical on matters of IT, you will have the opportunity to raise it, because these are our best IT experts in the country that run the National IT Authority of Uganda. So I am happy to be here this afternoon, and it gives me great joy and pleasure to address you this afternoon on yet another milestone in the digitalization journey of our country. Over the years, the government of Uganda has prioritized the ICT as a catalyst not only for improving its efficiency in delivery of public services, but also in facilitating overall socio-economic development. Like we've been saying, today it is ICT that drives socio-economic development in whatever discipline you think of, whether it is health, whether it is trade, whether it is transport, whether it is education, whether it's agriculture. IT has to be very central and integral to the advancement of these various sectors of development. And therefore, as a ministry responsible for ICT in this country, we are happy to be engaging with you on matters ICT this afternoon. Now, since the liberalization of Uganda's ICT sector, the sector has continued to grow despite the global economic slowdown contributing to about 6% of the country's GDP, and thanks to the increasing demand for both digital and internet-based services. I can proudly say that even when the whole world shut down because of COVID restrictions, when there was a shutdown as we managed COVID, the ICT sector continued to grow and even grew much bigger because there was an increased appreciation of the need to use ICT in order for services to continue flowing. So the ICT sector has over the years been vibrant and dynamic. It has now turned into an inevitable tool for socio-economic development. Even you, members of the media industry, I'm sure you appreciate that ICT enables you to do your work much more efficiently. In 1998, the government of Uganda took a conscious decision to fully liberalize this sector. And since then, we've been implementing a flexible, transparent, and scalable policy framework geared to the demands of modern markets through technology and service-neutral approaches. You may recall that Cabinet in the financial year 2012-2013 approved the strategy for rationalization and harmonization of utilization of ICT services in government MDAs and district local governments. The purpose of that strategy was to eliminate wastage of public resources arising from duplication of efforts and initiatives within the government. And one of the priority interventions that was emphasized under the strategy was the use of the national backbone and e-government infrastructure as the primary vehicle for all government data, internet, and voice services. And that's what Dr. Atwib was emphasizing, that over the years, we've been laying this national backbone infrastructure, or you may call it the internet cable, to spread to the rest of the country. We are yet to reach all the corners, but we have covered a significant part of the country so that we are able to have connectivity in different parts of the country. In the financial year 2012-2013, NITA-U, since 2012-13, NITA-U has been expeditiously implementing the different phases of this NBI. And as Dr. Atwib clearly said, we have so far done 4 phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and we are now preparing to do phase 5, which also will have last mile connections and the different corners of the country, and the different installations will be connected. So NITA-U has expeditiously implemented the first phases of the National Data Transmission Backbone Infrastructure Project to serve as the primary vehicle for all the government data, internet and voice services. But the internet prices were at that time at $1,200 per megabyte per second per month. That was 2012-2013. The cost of internet then was $1,200 per megabyte per second per month. But since then, through NITA-U, we've been reducing the cost of internet. And in 2014, this cost was reduced to $600. So by half, by 50%, from $1,200 to $600 per megabyte per second. And then in 2016, we further reduced it to $300. So you can see we started at 1,200, put it down at 600, then to 300 in 2016, and as more government MDAs and public offices got connected to the national backbone infrastructure. Now, consequently, the use of the national backbone infrastructure as a secure high-speed network for government has led to lowering the cost of communication across government, and furthermore enabled the extension of the geographic reach of broadband networks across the country, and altogether improved the government's efficiency and transparency through e-government applications. The national backbone now extends to all regions of the country, spanning 4,300 kilometers, extending connectivity to around 1,466 government offices. So over time, we have expanded the reach of this national backbone infrastructure got many more government offices hooked on the NBI and also lowered the cost of internet, and this has resulted in efficiency in the government service delivery. And with all these key achievements undertaken by government under the National IT Authority, I am delighted to announce that from 300 in 2016, the cost of internet was further reduced to $70 per megabyte per second. So as we stand now, the cost of government internet has been at 70. So since 2012, 2013, it has reduced from 1,200 megabyte per second. Don't mind about the terminology, megabyte per second per month, but shows the cost was high. It fell to 600, then it was reduced to 300 in 2016, and then it's 70 where we are operating now. And the reason why we invited you this afternoon is to announce that in the past years, the cost has been at $70 per megabyte per second per month, and effective today, the 1st of August 2023, the cost will be further reduced to $35 per megabyte per second per month. So in other words, government, we are reducing the cost of the government internet from $70 per megabyte per second, which has been obtaining up to this day, and effective today, it's now going to be $35 per megabyte per second per month. And this has a lot of implications. It means that many more can be hooked. It is much more affordable, and there will be more efficiency in running government services. But also, this will impact on the other providers in the private sector, and as a consequential effect, the cost of internet and data will also come down. I would like to note that this price reduction means government offices connected to the NBI will consume internet at the lowest price in the market. And this landmark achievement solidifies the government's position as the undisputed market leader in setting internet prices. With this bold move, NITA-U will drive substantial savings on the government's communication budget. It will catalyze the adoption of e-government services and deepen digitalization. I have a strong conviction that our actions today will inspire private internet service providers to follow suit, because we are the leader in terms of provision of internet services. And therefore, a remarkable reduction in the cost of internet by government will consequentially affect the other service providers in the market, and definitely we should be able to see a reduction even when you are not using the government internet services. And also to give you assurance, you members of the media and the country, that the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, together with the NITA-U, will remain committed to ensuring that the cost continues to get lower and lower and lower. Because like I have said, now connectivity, technology is what is driving all that we do to attain socio-economic transformation. So the less the cost of internet, the better for all of us. And like I have said, we are now preparing to do the phase 5 of the national backbone infrastructure, where we hope to reach the remaining corners of the country, where we hope to do last mile connections and have all government offices, the level of a sub-county, the schools, health facilities get connected to the internet. And that also will mean there will be more Ugandans who subscribe to the internet connectivity. And once the penetration has increased, that also automatically speaks to the reduction of the cost of internet. So the more Ugandans get hooked, because we are reducing the cost, but also extending the infrastructure. And the more Ugandans, or the more people in Uganda get connected on the internet, then the less the cost it becomes, the lower it becomes. Then also, let me also add that as ministers of ICT in Africa, we have our own grouping and association. And as ministers of ICT in the East African region, we are having discussions to see how we can engage technology companies to have a negotiation on the pricing of smart devices which come into the region, ranging from mobile phones, smartphones, tablets, laptops, iPads. So we are having an engagement with technology companies to see that we have a negotiated arrangement, and we want to see the cost of these smart devices get lower. Because one of the inhibitions why many Ugandans may not be using internet, may not be connected, is the cost of the devices, the cost of the smartphone. I hope we are not connected on Katochi, these 2G phones, these Katochi. We need all of you to be using a smartphone. So the lower the cost of the smartphones and other smart devices, it means more Ugandans will be able to buy these smart devices, these smartphones. And as the cost of internet, the cost of data reduces, then many more people will be hooked. And all those are strategies which we have put in place to see that access to internet becomes affordable, but also it becomes high speed, and through that we should be able to see that ICT becomes a facilitator for socio-economic transformation in this country. So the assurance, as I close my remarks, is to tell Ugandans that the government takes the issue of ICT as a priority, and we are going to run instead of moving fast, to run so that we catch up with the rest of the world. Because the world is moving so fast, we now speak of the fourth industrial revolution. We would want to see that these cutting-edge technologies which are driving transformation become integral to what we do as a country, and would want to see that the different sectors of government prioritize ICT. And our role as the Ministry for ICT, together with the NITA-U, is that we support the government services to integrate ICT and make ICT central to whatever we do, and that definitely will have long-lasting implications, including improved efficiency, cutting down costs, curbing corruption, and many other benefits which many of you definitely appreciate. So I want to thank NITA-U for the good work that they are doing, because they are our leader in terms of ICT development, ICT infrastructure, issues of connectivity, and definitely for us to be announcing that in the last 10 years or so, we've been able to cut the cost of internet from 1,200 megabytes per second per month to now 35 That is a very big achievement in our view, and therefore I salute our team at NITA-U for the tremendous progress that you continue to register as you support the entire government to see that we become IT compliant as people of Uganda. I thank you very much and wish all of you God's blessings. Thank you. Yes. So now it's time for you to raise questions for clarification, or a question for you to understand something, or you can make a comment or any advice or observation you may want to make. So Mr. Serumaga, you can help in choosing who speaks and who speaks first. Yes. Yes.
Why did you access to internet?
Yes.
How prepared is the government in terms of, let's say, as the prices are going up?
NBS happening now.